Am I the asshole for doing a cop photo shoot because of what my ex did? Throwaway, just in case. I, 21 female, just got out of a 4-year relationship with my HS sweetheart, 21 male. We were so in love that I changed my college plans to go to the same school as him, at his request. We've been living together in the same apartment for most of our time at school and planned on staying in it until we graduate next spring. About 3 weeks ago he decided he was done and it broke my heart. I was, and am, devastated and my whole world feels like it's upside down. Even though it hurt, the breakup conversation was amicable. I cried and asked why. He said he didn't love me anymore and that he was going to move out when he could get some friends to help him. Then he went and slept on the couch for the rest of the week. At first I thought he was being classy about things. Until it was time for him to move out. He said he'd be moving his things out during the day on Friday while I was in class, but when I got home everything was still here. He showed up at about 7 p.m., right as all our neighbors were getting ready to go out for the evening, with his buddies and 2 cop cars that sat in the parking lot right outside our apartment with their lights on the whole time he gathered his stuff. I was mortified. Our relationship was not violent or dramatic or anything and he's got 50 pounds and 5 inches on me. I still don't know why he wanted police there while he took his stuff out of the apartment, but I spent the week after having to answer questions about it from everyone we know. Word traveled fast. The next weekend, my best friend showed up unannounced with a bottle of wine and 2 Party City cop costumes to try and cheer me up. We took all sorts of goofy pictures of her handcuffing me and both of us trying to look stern. It was the first time I smiled since the breakup and I decided to post some of the funnier ones. I didn't expect him to see it since he blocked and unfollowed all my socials after the breakup. I woke up the next morning to texts from him and a bunch of his buddies saying how terrible I am and that I should be ashamed for making fun of him. I'm honestly just trying to move on with my life and heal with humor, but maybe I was petty for posting the pics. Edit. I didn't expect this to get this much attention. Thank you to everyone who shared words of support and personal stories. There were a few questions, statements in the comments that I'll respond to here so the info doesn't get lost in a single comment thread. I was wrong to point out that he's bigger than me in my original post. Our relationship has never been violent. He has never abused me and I've never abused him. It wasn't perfect, clearly, but I'm not a yeller or a thrower or anything like that. When I get upset I cry and leave the room. When he gets upset he uses kind of a sharp voice, but not loud. I added the size detail because it seemed so impossible that he'd be afraid of me, but putting that in sent a bad message about abuse and I'm unequivocally sorry to male victims of domestic violence for adding that detail. The breakup wasn't out of nowhere, but I still didn't expect it. We'd both been busy with work and school and things felt distant for a little while before it happened. I thought it was just normal life stress until he sat me down to talk. He didn't start with saying he doesn't love me anymore. That was the end of a couple hours of conversation. Looking back it kind of felt like that movie trope where somebody drives a dog out into the woods and drives away. Honestly, the breakup conversation wasn't my finest hour. The things he cited as issues in the relationship were things like me not paying enough attention to him and not keeping the apartment nicer, and those are fixable things, so I said I'd work on them and was trying to get him not to end things. When he said he didn't love me anymore I shut down because what can you say to that? A couple people asked if he was friends with the police who showed up. I don't think so. He's got a few cousins who are cops, but they don't live near where we went to school. A friend of a friend told me he called the police because of my dad. My dad is a big guy, but non-confrontational and lives on the other side of the state, and my ex knows both of those things. My socials are all friends only, but I didn't realize how many mutuals we had until I started getting texts about the pics. I blocked all the people I think could have sent things to him and I haven't responded to the texts. I just want to put my head down, get my degree and move somewhere far, far away from all of this. Not the asshole, he's your ex now. He doesn't get to comment on your posts. Even if he did, though, you were just trying to have fun. Well done on bouncing back. Not enough information. Did you ever learn why he brought the cops? A friend of a friend said he was afraid my dad would be there. My dad is a pretty big guy, but super non-confrontational and lives on the other side of the state, and my ex knows both of those things. Sounds more like he was spinning a different narrative of the breakup to his friends, family, and needed to back it up in front of an audience. That's a really good point actually. I mean, imagine telling your family and friends that you randomly fell out of love with your girlfriend of 4 years after she literally changed her future plans for you. I can't imagine that going particularly well for him. That would not exactly be a super unusual scenario though. Most HS sweetheart relationships don't survive, because they are in no shape or form fully developed people and personalities at that time, and sometimes people just develop in different directions and drift apart. Sure, it hurts for a bit, but it's also normal and does not make either one of them a bad person. Not the asshole, lol, what a drama queen. You dodged a bullet here, he can go be dramatic somewhere else, lol. So this original poster, your response should be to just block him and all his friends. Dear heavens, dude is such a drama llama, he's having others dig through your social media for more. Elmau so homeboy can dish it out by having a police escort for no discernible reason but can't take it when you have a hilariously adorable, cathartic photo shoot. So not the asshole, it ain't even funny, but the photo shoot is. Good on you, original poster. Not the asshole, he is for wasting police time for what? To make you look bad? It was totally unnecessary, you were only having fun, who cares how he feels? Not the asshole, ignore your ex-boyfriend and his friends. For Halloween you should for sure dress up as a sexy cop. Not the asshole, and I like this. Own it. We'll piss him off. Maybe get a goofy-looking man stuffy, draw sad eyebrows on him and hold his hand all night. Not the asshole, it's possible he was using an excuse as to why you're breaking up to his friends, something like she's absolutely crazy, etc., etc. So the police being there fit his narrative. So when someone asks him why you two broke up, he's playing the victim and painting you in a bad light. You just are not playing the part he planned for you. Humor is a great way to cope, but to really boil his goose, move on and be happy. Actually, to really boil his goose, take photos with police officers you see, assuming they give their consent, and post photos. Just mess with him a bit for a couple of weeks. I 100% approve this as a form of catharsis and petty revenge, but I am Queen Petty. How the hell was he able to get 2 cop cars to escort him whilst getting his stuff? What has he accused you of? Does the police in your country have nothing better to do? Also, if you break up with someone out of the blue and then block them on social media, you really have no say in what they do or don't post online. Just tell them all to go to hell or block them or both. Not the asshole. Lol, in a low-crime suburb cops are bored and might do stuff like this if you ask. This is the truth, I swear. I live in an area where there's not much going on, and for the past 20+ years and going, you'll see 4 cop cars involved for anything: 1 car traffic stop, person on a motorcycle, person on a bicycle, person walking down the street, empty parking lot. I'm trying to imagine 4 cop cars stopping a random person on a bicycle and just end up laughing XD. It's happened to me before. It's very silly. I think sometimes they pull over white people and treat them nice so they can get good reviews through their little rating system, because every time, it's happened 4 times, I've been pulled over on my bike, I've been treated too nicely and then given a small card with a website where I can rate the encounter. Unfortunately for them, I'm queer and hate cops, so I always give them the lowest rating, LMAOOO. Not the asshole, and I think you dodged a bullet. As you pointed out, he's larger than you and then used the cops to further intimidate you and turn the neighborhood against you. This is why no one ever believed me when my ex-girlfriend used to hit me. I'm sorry your ex-girlfriend abused you. That's not right or good. We need to dismantle the patriarchy and restructure our society so that any violence, from men or women, is completely unacceptable. My boyfriend cut half through his finger while cooking on my birthday and we ran to the hospital, in Sweden. I was in the waiting room while he got treated, and he later said they asked twice if things were rocky at home and if we had been fighting, implying that I had hurt him. I'm a girl. And I'm so happy they did. They didn't just assume that it was an accident because he's a guy. Progress is being made, at least in some places. Not the asshole. He's just mad you're not falling apart, giving him the dramatic reaction he wants. Not the asshole, he chose the way he broke up with you and did in a very humiliating way. Your friend is helping you cope with how everything went down. If your ex feels like you're making fun of him, oh well, he literally made it look like you were going to cause major problems while he moved out. He broke up with you, he doesn't get to dictate what you do anymore. Not the asshole, girl, a funny photoshoot with a friend sounds like an excellent way to heal and move on. He's out of your life now, he has no say on what you do. He's the one choosing to engage with you over this after blocking you. He's choosing to get mad at you when all you're trying to do is feel better. Sounds like you dodged a bullet with this one. He thought she'd be crushed and sad, falling apart. He was wrong. Now he's mad she's okay. Original poster, keep rocking. Not the asshole. Your breakup was amicable, you didn't put up any sort of fight or make it weird, and he said he would do it in class while you were gone. Instead he brought police when he knew you'd be home instead, at the time everyone around you would be heading out. I personally think he did that on purpose to make you look bad. You didn't do anything wrong by dealing with it how you did. Definitely. He wanted her to be embarrassed and ashamed. If there was no violence or crazy argument when they broke up, and his friends were there with him, what other reason would he have to bring cops with him? He wanted her humiliated and devastated over him leaving. Childish behavior on his part. Not only do I agree that it was 100% intended to humiliate her and cause her more heartbreak, the timing of doing it when it would be as public a spectacle as possible also makes me think he did it to make her look terrible so that she would have a hard time finding someone new. He's trying to have his cake and eat it too. Gets to be the one who dumps her and go do whatever he wants, but he wants her crying over him as long as possible, so wants to try to ruin her dating chances by making her look publicly crazy. If word gets around that her ex had to have 2 police help him move out because she's so crazy, or whatever rumor he could start out of it, it would definitely make any future romantic partners probably think twice before getting involved with her, sadly. I think it's just a way for him to continue to exert control over her while getting to do whatever he wants. She said she moved there specifically because he asked her to move with him. Now he's leaving her but doesn't want her to emotionally move on from him. He's still trying to control her by acting as though he gets a say in what she posts online. Not the asshole, any ex's opinions are irrelevant. Not the asshole, you made something traumatic something fun. How would he even see the pictures anyway? You dodged a bullet, op. Agads, so not the asshole. I love your friends for coming up with that idea to cheer you up. You keep getting through and enjoying yourself. F the ex.